everybody. How are you guys doing? You are here with Linda and Brenda. We are here every Tuesday, guys, at 99.1 GenX. We are here on our show, Live Stuff Show, guys. Always coming in talking about live stuff, bringing people in from the community, bringing business owners, just bringing people that we definitely want to spotlight because they are just doing wonderful, and I mean wonderful things. Like I said, I am here with the other host, Linda Pearson. Linda, how are you doing?
I am fabulous. Well, it's kind of cold. So I have my fashion disclaimer. I'm dressed as warm as I can, so.
Oh my goodness. So guys, like I was saying, we're bringing you live stuff from San Antonio and the people who are making positive difference in our San Antonio community. Our guest today is attorney Yvette Salinas, an estate planning lawyer. She provides legal services to those in need in the area of probate law, wills, and estate planning. Yvette often gives back through the community with our services, with her services.
And she is a member of Women Unlimited, which is a Facebook, fast-growing Facebook group where she's currently giving free workshops for estate planning and things like that with the host of Business 101 session and the founder of Brenda.
We wear many hats, right? We wear many hats.
It is a women's group, but check out Women Unlimited. And right now, Yvette and Brenda are in the middle of the Business 101 series every Wednesday.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock Wednesday. It's just a real quick session through that group's Facebook Live, I guess.
Yes.
Right.
Through our Facebook Live. Yes.
Okay. I'm Linda Pearson. And I'm the founder and president of the Scooby Van of San Antonio, and that's the spray-painted mystery machine you see driving around town.
That's you, girl, and everybody, I have been with you, and people, they almost crashed trying to say hi or trying to take a picture. I was like, Linda, get out of their way.
If you do see us, please do not crash your car while you're trying to take a picture. Okay, and so we're a nonprofit charity, and the goal is to get free books to underserved kids, but our mission is to bring the community together to get that done, because there's only one of me, and the gas prices are going up. So that's what that's all about. No,
right.
It was always the mission, not because of gas prices are going up. And I'm also Brenda's business partner, and our company is called Life Stuff Co. And Brenda's going to tell you a little bit more about what we do.
All right, guys. So again, my name is Brenda Ons, and like Linda was saying, we own Life Stuff Co. and we're a media and marketing company that serves the community through the radio show, our upcoming magazine, and through our marketing and PR services. I am also the owner of Saving Our Way, where what I do, guys, is I help people save, get this, through couponing. Yay. So if you guys want to learn how to save, you definitely need to just hit my website, guys, at savingourway.com.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Tell them about those prices. Didn't you go the other day, though, to the store?
Everything's gone
Well,
up.
first of all, a lot of times the shelves are empty.
Yes.
So if you do have what you want, the prices are going up.
Right. So if you can use a coupon on anything, definitely do that. Now, we do want to thank our sponsors. So tell them all about our sponsors.
GenX 99.1 FM. That's where we're sitting right now.
That's right.
So thank you. We're happy to be here. We got our show extended for this whole year, so we're excited about that. And also the Center of Advanced Wellness and the Med Spa, which is where we are actually located right now at 8723 Botts Lane for all your medical and beauty needs. So memberships start up as little as $30 a month for a single person and up to $150 per family. And then anytime you come to the med clinic for testing or for treatments or anything like that, it's $10 a visit, which is huge. So if you don't have medical insurance, please check that out at centerofaadvancedwellness.com. And again, we are at 8723 Botts Lane.
That's right. So, you know what? We are going to be giving away throughout the year several Pogo Passes. We are also sponsored by Pogo Pass. This is one pass, one price, good for 1 year, a $39.98. This is how much it costs, but you guys are getting $1,000 worth of free venues. So we're always excited about the Pogo Pass. Also, thank you so much to my Travel Vibes, Rudy, for supplying, our t-shirts, cups, bags, and we happen not to have them on today.
No, I do. But I have my
Travel Vibes.
Oh, do you? Show t-shirt under my hoodie because I'm freezing. Oh, I need to get a show hoodie then.
That's you know what? We will get that, Rudy.
You hear that, Rudy? Order.
That's right. You know Rudy too, Yvette. So thank you so much.
Okay, and then so quick updates from Brenda and Linda. So before we get started,
yeah.
So this past weekend, KLRN invited us to their Kids Spring Festival this past Saturday. That was the Scooby Van. We partnered with KLRN, so the Scooby Van showed up. They had a lot of community groups giving free resources and information to the public. That was at Lincoln Park. The food bank was there. We got a big bag of vegetables. The YMCA was there. Head Start. The Cat in the Hat was there. So that was really
Exciting.
cool.
Oh my
right?
God, that was so much
The kids
fun.
loved it. And so
The kids were full of smiles, Linda.
they were all dressed up in their cat in the hat paraphernalia. And we did have a lot of Cat in the Hat books actually that we were giving away up front. We started giving away books at 10 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
And the books went pretty fast. So we gave away close to 500 books.
Amazing.
That doesn't mean 500 kids. That means we're letting kids take as many books as they want, because if they're excited about reading, then that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did this past weekend with the Scooby Van, and we do have another event coming up, and I'll tell you about that at the end of the show. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere, guys.
Yes, the other thing is I'm just super stoked, guys. We just launched our GenX Magazine, featured Mari Gonzalez on the cover, our GenX 99.1 station on the cover, and also Judge Stephanie Boyd, who was on the show just a couple of weeks ago.
So we're excited about that. We'll tell you a little bit more about that as we go too. So we just launched that magazine, and now we're going to be launching our San Antonio Life Stuff magazine, which is kind of the sister magazine of the show. So you'll see a lot of similarities as far as who we're helping get the word out about, and talking about all the good things going on in San Antonio. So, do we need to take a commercial break?
No, we're good. But I really just want to say, woohoo! Yeah, I'm super excited. I am just
No
super.
commercial.
Yeah,
She's like, no.
I am the commercial. No, I'm just kidding. The thing is, I just feel like 2022, it is really happening. You know, me and Linda, we've been working, together. I'm almost embarrassed to say it's only been 8 months, because we've done so many
Yeah.
projects together. Me and you.
Someday we'll tell the story, and people will maybe believe it. But it's just
I'm
kind of a
telling
crazy
you.
story how we got together.
We just clicked, and from there we said, hey, I want to do this. What about you? She's like, well, I want to do this.
We're doing this.
Collaboration, and then
That's
before
key.
you
Got
know
their
it,
hands in all kinds
we
of
are
pots.
doing, yes, we're doing this radio show. We have not one but 2 magazines coming out. We started a media company, and then we just need to start going couponing together. That's it.
Yeah, I definitely need that. I don't even remember to bring my coupons. It's really sad.
That's right.
I'm the
So
example of what not to do.
I'm telling you.
Okay, so since we didn't take our commercial, welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
So we are here today. We're excited. So we're Brenda and Linda, San Antonio Life Stuff Show, and we're bringing you people in San Antonio who are making a positive difference in our city, like our guest today, attorney Yvette Salinas.
Yay,
Yvette,
I'm excited to
Yvette.
be here.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks
We're
for having
excited.
me.
It seems like forever. We've been waiting for you to get you on the show.
I know. Scheduling has been an issue.
Definitely.
busy.
Okay, so for those who aren't aware of who you are and what you do, so just kind of give us the background of who you are and what you do.
So my name's Yvette Salinas, and I am an attorney here in San Antonio. I've been practicing for 7 years now. I don't know where the time went on that. I feel like I just got out of law school.
Oh my goodness.
But it's been 7 years.
You've been that busy,
Yeah, I've been that busy. I've been blessed. I started my own firm straight out of law school. I decided
Good for you.
I didn't want to work for anybody. I have a hard time taking orders from people, and I said, if anybody's gonna boss me around, it's gonna be me.
I like that.
So of course
Good for you.
it has its ups and its downs, as any business does, but I've been blessed and I love it. And so I started primarily with probate and family law, and I did family law for 7 years and decided I'm done. I'm done with family law. So I do primarily now probate, estate planning, some real estate stuff, and obviously like contracts and business, that kind of thing. But I've gotten away from family.
Okay, so what made you decide to be a lawyer?
So it was actually something I always wanted to do. I know people think that's crazy, right? But from a young age, I always knew I wanted to be an
So how young?
attorney.
We always talk about how young did this,
I
this
was
happen.
like 6th grade and thought I want to be an attorney. And it was
Wait,
something.
so you just wake up one morning and
Yeah.
go, oh.
Maybe it was all the Law and Order type shows that I used
So
to
was
watch.
it TV influence?
It might have been
or you
TV
have a
influence.
family member who's a lawyer?
No, we don't have any lawyers in my
TV
family.
influence?
I think it was TV influence, but I think a lot of it too was that, especially in the shows you would see where in divorce cases the kids get caught in the
Did
middle.
you watch Judge Judy?
I did watch
Oh,
Judge
that's
Judy.
a good one. That's a good
But
one.
I don't know that she was really an influence.
Yeah, okay.
She really wasn't. A lot of it had to do with me wanting to make a difference and be the voice for those who couldn't speak up for
Oh, wow.
themselves.
I love that. It's
And
pretty
so
powerful.
it was something that I set my sights on very early and kind of just stuck to it.
Good for you.
Thankfully it happened.
And you went to school here in San Antonio?
Yeah, so I actually grew up here, born and raised here. Did undergrad at UTSA. So
Okay.
I have I was a double major. So I have a bachelor's in English and a bachelor's in political science. And then after that, I decided, because I'm, my best friend likes to call me Chicken Little, because he says I'm a little bit of a worrywart. And so I like to have a plan B. And so I decided after that I was going to get my master's before going to law school. That way, in case law school didn't happen, I had something to fall back on.
So what was your master's in?
My master's is in political science with a minor in legal studies.
Okay.
And then I got into law school and did that. So my dad likes to call me his career student.
There
Because
you go. So where'd
I
you
have a lot
go to
of
law
degrees.
school?
So I went to law school in Houston at Thurgood Marshall School of Law. So it's part of Texas Southern University.
Mhm.
But other than that, I was here. I went to Texas State for my master's. So I've been to a lot of schools.
Good for you, though, right?
Yeah.
And you stuck with it, so that
I
must have been an
did.
okay thing. There you go. So what do you enjoy about your job? So you help. When people say estate planning, a lot of times people just think older people who are trying to get their affairs in order,
Right.
right? So
And it's
what do you
actually
like about
not.
that?
I think that's a misunderstanding, right?
Right.
People don't really know if you haven't actually been through the process, you don't really know what estate planning is. So estate planning has to deal with not just your last will and testament. That's the first thing everybody thinks. Like, how am I going to leave my
Or when they have babies. Oh, we
Yeah.
gotta have a plan
Some
in
type
place,
of plan in place,
right?
yeah.
With the 2 times people probably
Yeah,
think about that.
But
That
they
makes
don't really
sense.
think about all the other stuff that comes with it, right? What about your medical power of attorney? If something happens to you, who's going to make medical decisions for you?
And we always think, oh, nothing's gonna
That's
happen.
not going to happen.
But it's COVID time, so let's be real.
Exactly. What happens if something happens and you need somebody to handle your financial affairs?
And they can't
Right?
because
They
they don't
can't
have a durable
access-
power of attorney.
Yes.
So now you got an issue.
Yes,
You're
because they
laying
can't
there.
access any of your bank accounts, and people think just bank accounts, but it's anything financial. It's stocks and bonds, Social Security, retirement,
Is it even medical decisions in some cases?
and some decisions. Yeah, especially if it's having to deal with like consent for costs of things, right?
Wow, yeah.
And then the most sensitive one that my clients tend to kind of waver on is the advance directive,
Right.
Mhm.
and that is your wishes regarding life support.
Right.
And that's always a touchy one because people don't like to think about what happens if I end up in that situation and I need the life support. But I've had a lot of clients come in, they've lost a loved one, and they had to make that decision
Mhm.
as to when was the right time to remove the machines.
Right.
And they always have this sense of guilt that
Right.
travels with them. And so by putting your wishes down in writing, it takes that decision away from your family so that they don't have to make the decision as to when is the right time to remove it.
So it's really more about your family. What do you want for your family? Do you want them to
Right.
feel guilty, or do you want them to feel good knowing they did what you wanted?
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing, right? Like, so, and I when I talk to clients, I always use myself as an example. My mom's an RN, and so educationally, she would understand my daughter's no longer there on a medical level.
Oh, right, exactly.
But it doesn't separate from the fact that she's still my mom.
Emotional.
And when is the right time to remove the machines? Or, did I do it too soon? Did I do it too late? And so I didn't want to put my family in that position. I travel a lot. If something
Right.
happens and I'm gone, I don't want them to have to make that decision.
Right.
It
So
does
it's
make a lot
my
of sense.
wishes, and then that's it. Everybody
You know,
just
I
has to
took care
follow.
of my 96-year-old grandmother, and and she passed away actually in my home, and that was really, really hard. But it was great that she did have everything together,
Yeah.
and it was so easy for me because it made me feel great that I really did, respect her wishes, and she felt great that it was going to happen because she felt good that it was out there in writing.
And they don't want to
Right.
be a burden.
No,
especially
and
for
that's
seniors.
the
They don't wanna be
biggest
a
thing
burden.
is they don't like to be a burden. I think with my elderly clients, because a lot of my clientele is elderly,
Right?
they're afraid that once they get their documents in order, it means that they're ready for death. And it's
Oh.
not. It's just a means of
No,
making
they
sure
just
that
check
all
that
of
off your
your
list, you did
wishes
what you
are in
did.
order. Especially for like my younger clients, clients my age, they're like, well, I'm still young. What do I have to worry about that for? And I was like, you travel, right? What happens if something happens to you? And
You're alive and breathing.
who are your kids gonna go to?
Well,
if
and we
something
lived the time of
happens?
COVID.
Right.
And though we do, a lot of us are vaccinated, and there's more help now than there was 2 years ago. But God, I've never seen so much, death all at the same time. So this is something
And
that
even on a
people really
personal
should.
level, I think at this point it's touched everybody
Probably.
in
Right.
some way, shape, or form.
Yes. So the next thing, and you never did answer my question, we'll get back to that, which is what you like about it. But before we go there, so the next thing people may think of is, well, but I can't afford an attorney. right? Is that something that
That is
probably
something
people
that I
think
get
that might keep
often.
them from this?
Right. That's something that I get often.
Yes.
Is I can't afford that. Like, there's no.
But they don't know what it costs.
They don't know what it costs. They don't know what it costs. So if you don't come in, right, it's hard for you to get that, right? And the other thing is that I am such a huge advocate of people having this done that I try and keep the costs to a reasonable amount that people can afford. And because I'm such a huge advocate of everybody having all of those documents in order, I do what I call a bundle rate. So if you come in, you get all of those in, then you get a discounted price than if you're just coming and getting one document. Because I'm trying to help you have everything together.
Which you want the bundle because those
that
are all
is
the pieces
awesome.
that you need.
Correct.
So what again is on that
What's in the
bundle?
bundle?
So in the bundle, it's your last will and testament,
Mhm.
your statutory durable power of attorney, so that's the one for finances, medical power of attorney, your HIPAA release, which says who can have access to your medical records, and then the advance directive, which is your wishes regarding life support. So 5 documents, all important for different reasons. Most people don't think about them.
Did you say will?
Yes, the last
Okay.
will and
Oh,
testament.
there is another thing that I learned, that if you are going to be cremated and you have a will, there's actually another document that you need that says you want to be cremated, otherwise all the family members have to approve of, and that could get ugly, of course.
Yeah,
So
and then there's
one other form in
there's
Texas.
that, and then there's also if you decide you want to do some type of anatomical gift. So I did for myself, right? I want to do an anatomical gift. If I can have the ability to save somebody else, they need my skin, they need my eyes, they need whatever. I don't need them anymore. My physical body, like I don't need it
So
anymore.
it's not just, you can't just have the organ donor on your driver's license?
You can, but sometimes you get into that gray area, right? Like, what if you don't
I didn't
have your
think
idea
about that.
when something happens to
Or
you?
the family's like,
The family's unaware, and then they decide to fight. It's just better again to have a legal document in place that says, "Look, this is what my wishes are."
spare them the argument.
Yes,
Okay.
because
And
it
the
does
agony.
happen. It does
And the
happen.
agony. So I think you already answered this question. So what do you like most about what it is that you do?
I am a huge advocate of helping people have their stuff in order.
Okay.
So I actually got started with all of this when I was in law school. I actually did the legal clinic at school, and I did the wills and probate clinic. And I did that. It was funny because you're only supposed to be able to do it for a semester. But my professor was like, "I love you so much. We're going to try and figure out how to have you stay." So we ended up figuring out a way for me to be able to do it as an internship for an extra semester. So I did this for a whole year before I even graduated law
Oh,
school.
that's fantastic.
And at that time, like, our clinic obviously was for the individuals who couldn't afford it.
Right.
And so I saw how messy it was when they didn't have their stuff in order. And for me, it just became something I was extremely passionate about having people have their stuff in order, because
That's awesome.
they come to me after the fact wanting to fix it, and it's so much harder. It's not that it can't be fixed, it's just more costly and time consuming.
Mhm.
And if I can help you avoid that, I'd prefer to help you avoid that.
So if somebody picks up the phone or connects with you and says, "Hey, I want to do this. I want to get the bundle." How much interaction do they have? Do they have to go visit you? How long does this whole process take?
So there's a couple different options, right? Especially in light of COVID. I've changed my practices a little bit, right?
Mhm.
So now, since things are back open, I can do both in person or Zoom. And then
Oh,
I
that's
have
good. So
some.
it's very flexible.
It's very flexible.
I
And
like
then
that.
I have some clients that are like elderly and they're not able to get like around. In that type of situation, depending on the circumstances, I've also done home visits as well. Now the hospitals are back open too. I've had clients before who are like, "Hey, I'm in the hospital, like I'm going into surgery, I need this done now."
Wow. So you go out there?
I will do
If
that
they can
as
catch
well.
you?
Yeah, if they can catch me, and if we can get things kind of in order and
So how long does that
situated.
process take?
Wow.
From the time they connect with you and start the process to the time the documents are official and filed or whatever has to happen?
a lot of it has to do with how quickly the clients get me the information that I need to draft it.
There's
Well,
the
that
right?
makes sense. That makes a lot of
The sooner
sense.
you get me the information that I need to draft up the documents, the sooner it can be done. The other thing is scheduling witnesses, because 3 out of the 5 documents need witnesses.
Who aren't related to you.
Yes,
So
who are
that's
just
something to keep
interested.
in mind.
They're not related by blood or marriage.
So get some friends.
So yeah, friends, neighbors, even if people in the office. And so I can typically arrange one of the witnesses. It's hard though for me to arrange the 2, just because there are 2 other attorneys in the office, but we're always on
Okay,
rotating
so those
schedules.
witnesses have to sign the documents in your presence, in your office.
Correct.
So that's kind of a visit time, it's at the end, you gotta
Yes,
have
at
that
the end
going
there's a
on.
visit time, yeah. And again, if you're not mobile, then we arrange to do it at the home. That gets tricky when there's like homes involved because title companies as far as like transfers, so it's
Oh,
always
that's
just
right.
better to come to the office
Right.
Okay.
for that.
Well, I'm glad that the office is now
I'm asking all
open.
these
Yeah.
nitty-gritty questions, cause you don't think about these things,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So what's the biggest challenge of what you do?
The biggest challenge I think would be for me when people come to me and I'm not able to give them the answers that they want, or
Why
I
is
give
that?
them the bad news.
Which is
Because they've been misinformed about something, like especially on the probate end. I think people have a misunderstanding that, especially with husbands and wives, right? If
Right.
they didn't have a will, they think there's an automatic transfer.
Right.
I
that
don't know if it
automatically
used to be like that back in the day, but I know that I know a
Goes to
couple of
probate,
people
right?
myself.
Has
For
to.
the most part.
It has to,
Unless
right?
the person doesn't own enough, like when my mom passed away, there was not a lot there, she had dementia, she was elderly, so it didn't go to probate. But most of the time it's.
But if there's a
Most of the
home,
time-
if
yeah,
there's a
there's
home,
a
and-
home,
it's
and
gonna be a
basically there
mess.
is
Yeah.
a home.
And it's
if
gonna be
there's a
mess.
home, it's gonna be a mess because what often happens is one of the spouses has passed
Right.
and they automatically just think, okay, you know, when
It's my
dad
mom.
died, it's now mom's, but nothing was ever done with dad's estate.
That's
So
right.
the title is still in both their names. And the
Right.
only way to get it 100% transferred is to take dad's estate through probate.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's difficult when I have clients come in and both parents have passed and now we're having to
So
clear
now
up
you're gonna be going to the courthouse.
yeah.
A lot.
Well, I
Right.
know, you know what, Yvette, so I have a friend that, you know, her mom lived in the house 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, her mom went to sell the home. Now her father died 30 years ago.
Oh.
And that was, that was really tough because especially back then, I mean, you know, they just
It's
really
hard. You
didn't
just-
have anything in writing. They didn't, you know, have their will done. She's the mom's lived there 50 years. Dad
Yeah.
died 30 years ago, and she's ready to sell the home.
Yeah,
Is she
you
wanting to
can.
go to senior living or something, and she's got a
Well, she
deadline,
can't
so
sell the
now
home
that's-
because
So,
the home is
well,
still in dad's
she's
name.
moving in with her daughter,
Okay.
and her daughter's like, "Mom, you know what? Let's just sell the house. We'll get somebody to care for you. Somebody
Yeah.
in the morning. I'll be there at night. We'll sell your home. It'll take care of you." Turns out, because there wasn't anything in writing, well, you know what? Other people jumped on the bandwagon, like the grandchildren.
Ooh.
You know,
It's
like
messy.
the
So now
sons
she
and
had to
daughters.
share what the house was worth to everybody
And
else.
actually, she did,
Yeah.
and so then it didn't leave her enough to hire anybody.
Yeah.
So it would have had
It's
to be
very,
the
very
kids
messy. Like,
because it ended up going to probate.
Yeah.
But people don't think about that.
no, and that's the thing, right? Like, I think people don't know that information. They just
Right.
they also have assumptions because it's based on something somebody else told them. Oh, well, this happened with me.
But not a lawyer, somebody.
But right, they heard it from somebody else, and this went through it. And
Okay,
that's-
you're hearing it from a vet here.
Yeah,
so
that's not how
take
it
this
works,
for
like-
Attorney
gospel.
at law.
My biggest thing is it's just always better for you to get the information. At that point, you can make an informed decision, but don't end up in a situation where you're just assuming you have the answers and then you're coming to me to fix it. Most of the time I can, but it's gonna cost you. And then the other thing is depending on how messy it is.
Right.
Sometimes I can't fix it.
Right.
I've had clients come into me who are generations back that it hasn't been done. The most memorable one I've had was back when I was like maybe my second or third year of practice.
Mm-hmm.
The client came to me and they had started the process, but her dad ended up passing. It should have been her dad's, and he didn't have a will. Then the attorney who was helping died,
Oh my gosh.
but the house was still in great grandma's name.
Oh my god.
And so it was back 60, 70 years.
Wow.
Where they
that
didn't
we
even
were
think
gonna
Were you
about
able to
it.
fix it?
No, because the thing is the family didn't have the money to go back and do that
They didn't have the money to fix it.
because it was
so then what
gonna
happens?
because the house
Just
was
gotta
worth
finish the story because I'm interested in
yeah,
I'm
the
curious.
house was worth less than what they were gonna end up having to
So they just had
spend,
to
and they
sell
just
it.
were like, let's just
walk away from
just
it.
walk away.
Wow.
Because the thing was that because it was never done when it should have been done, now the house, which was supposed to go to one person, according to the will, because that was never done, it was gonna get split something like 16 ways.
Ooh.
And so everybody was
Well,
gonna
this-
get like $1,000 from
There was
it.
10 people in the
Yeah.
story that I was trying to tell everybody
Oh.
about. So yeah, she ended up staying with not that much at all, and the house didn't sell. That's the other thing. It's like if the house doesn't sell for an incredible amount,
Right.
and there's 10 people that it's going to go to, then what do you really have? And the thing is, you know, she's, you know, in her 80s. She really needs this money. She really needed that help. And then look what happened.
Yeah.
So people
Plus the
really
time
do want
you
to
wait
think
for
about
to
it.
resolve, and then it resolves.
Yeah,
into
that's the
your
other thing. The
advantage.
timing of it
Takes
is really.
forever.
Mhm.
And so I think I would like to think, you know, if you're having babies, of course, that's one time when you're forced to go get all these paperwork together. You know, if you're going into senior living or you're older, that's another time people say, oh, okay,
Travel.
let's do this. Travel. You know, and I think probably, this is just my opinion, but I think a lot
Uh-huh.
of times people just don't want to do it because it's icky. Because it's like you have to face the fact that we're talking about someday you might die. I would like to think now with COVID that people might be a little more, hey, we need to get this done, right?
Yeah.
But the other thing might be that, well, I'm going to talk to an attorney, because I think a lot of times people think attorneys are
Very stuffy and very, like,
soon,
yeah.
impersonal. But but what we love about you is that you're very compassionate, you're
Yeah.
very caring, and when we deal with you, you are an attorney. But it doesn't feel like you're dealing with an attorney.
Yeah.
It feels like you're dealing with somebody who's your friend, who has your best interest.
And
So
that's very, very important
agree,
to
I
me.
agree.
that's what we love about that.
The model that I like to use is that I'm the attorney that cares.
Mhm.
I'm not your typical attorney that likes to be like cutthroat. In the type of law that I do, you
Or
need
impersonal.
Yeah, and the type of law that I deal with, you have to have compassion and sympathy, because a lot of the times the individuals who are coming to you are going through a very emotional time.
Right.
And they're already just caught up in their emotions, not knowing where to go, what to do, where to start. And that's what my job is. But it also requires a sense of, you know, compassion in the way that I'm handling it. Like, being aggressive isn't going to necessarily work in this type of area. And it's on the estate
That makes
planning
sense. That
side.
makes sense.
On the estate planning side, people are scared. It scares them. And especially once I start giving the information about why this is important, why this other document's important, they get overwhelmed. And my job is to try and help them just understand, like, why this is all needed, and I can help you through the process.
Right, and I think probably for those, I mean, my advice would be, you know, think about how good you're going to feel on the other end of this after they've gotten all this taken care of.
And that's
Yeah,
always
you don't have
something
to
that
worry about
happens.
that
Like,
anymore.
every time we're
No.
done, as soon as they're done signing,
Sign of release.
it's so weird. Like, they just, every single client is like, I feel like I just had a weight lifted
Yes.
off my shoulders.
Because we all have that. and
Yeah.
We're all alive. We all got to deal with that, and we all have that. Either you got it together and you can not have to worry about it, or like with me, you know, we had younger kids. The kids are now going to be 18 years old, and we got married. And so maybe now everything's in place, but maybe now we need to relook at that.
Yeah.
And so there's an opportunity then to just, because it is COVID time, maybe we do need to look at that, because it still could be a mess,
It is.
even if you think you have it all together.
Yeah.
So it's something to just go back and look at.
It is. And it's like I said, it's always good to get the information. What you choose to do with the information is up to you, but it's at least important to start there.
Do you have a free consultation?
Yeah, so I actually offer free consults on Tuesdays and Thursdays
Oh,
of the
very
week.
nice.
So I have 2 days designated for free consults.
So if I bring all my stuff to you and say, here's what we did years ago,
Yes.
and this is where I am right now, and this is what we want, is this sufficient, or do we need to
Update it,
clean
yeah.
this up? And
Yeah.
that's something you could help me
That
with,
is something that I could help you
That's
do.
probably worth a phone call.
Yeah.
That is
And it is.
definitely worth
I'll buy
it.
you coffee too. On top of all.
So, all right. The thing is,
Free workshops.
you have these bundles. So I love that. And like you said, it's the will, the last will, the power attorney, the HIPAA, medical directive. Is that what that's called?
Yes.
Medical?
Mhm.
Okay,
And then the advance directive.
Advanced
And the
directive.
form if you're gonna get cremated.
Correct.
That's right.
That's right.
So all of
So-
this is really, really important, guys. You definitely want to share this
Yeah.
particular segment, especially because this is someone, right, Linda, for everyone. This isn't just like talking to one person. Like,
Yeah.
everybody should have this. It's going to cover you guys.
Yeah,
Okay. So
absolutely.
real quick, before we have somebody coming in real quick, hopefully towards the end of the show. But I want you to tell us a little bit about your free workshops that you're doing in the Women's Unlimited group on Facebook. Brenda's founded that group. It's a super fast growing group.
Right. That
Women
group.
about empowerment, supporting each other, lifting each other up. And you're doing a wonderful thing. So you got an 8-week course that you're giving once a week.
Yeah, we started it kind of on a whim. Brenda was just like, hey, I have this idea. What do you think?
The
I was
thing
like,
is, you're really
okay.
easy to connect with, so I just want to say that. You're really easy to connect with. I know that you're constantly doing something for the community, so I thought about opening a women's group. So that's what we ended
So
up
she said,
doing.
hey, we're going to do this business 101. We're going to talk about legal stuff. I got Yvette doing it. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I'll help you with some marketing stuff with that. So when's that going on? Tomorrow. And I'm like,
Yeah, it was
oh,
a quick.
okay.
It was a quick. Do you have time in your schedule?
So
I'm like,
it is.
okay, let's do it. I can do it at this hour.
Fasten your seatbelt.
and that's what it's been. So,
No, it's wonderful. So you've done how many sessions now?
we've had 4, I believe.
Yeah, we've
Okay,
actually
so
had
you remember
4.
what the sessions were about?
So the first was an introductory. Then
Okay.
we did doing business as, so a DBA. Then we did an LLC.
cool.
And then we did partnerships and limited
Okay, so this
liability
is
partnerships.
business 101. So this
Yeah,
is
so
about,
that was
and
business
so
101.
That reaches a wide audience.
So that was to start. We're eventually going to branch out, right? Part of it is going into the 5 documents we've discussed here. We plan on discussing them individually,
Okay,
so that
so
people get an understanding of
Tomorrow
what
is
each
your next segment.
Tomorrow is our next
How long
segment.
is
Yeah.
the segment? 15, 20 minutes?
We try and do 20
20
minutes.
minutes on
Yeah.
Facebook Live through the
Yes.
Women's Unlimited group.
Right.
And tomorrow's topic is what?
Contracts. We're going over contracts
right.
tomorrow.
And then
Why
what
those
are
are
the
important.
last 2 or 3 or whatever.
So we haven't exactly ironed out those
Okay.
yet.
Yeah, because I
Business, right.
think we have 5 that is up already. So definitely you guys even, go to YouTube and just look up Saving Our Way, Business 101.
Mhm.
out there as well.
Yeah, I really felt the need to get it out just
No, it's
anywhere
fantastic.
and everywhere.
Yeah.
There is a lot of people, opening their business. They're just coming
There's
back.
free advice from
from-
an attorney.
Yeah, they're just coming back, opening up their business, from COVID, and people just had a lot of questions. So
Yeah.
thank you so
And
much,
I think
Yvette.
they don't really know where to start, right?
Right.
And so that was just, we're giving basic preliminary information of where do you start? What do
And
I
it may
do?
sound basic, but how many women have come up to us and say, "How do I start a business?
That's
Yeah.
right.
How do I get a DBA? How do I do
Yeah.
Well,
this?"
and I thought that's
That's a lot of people that need to know that.
That's right. And I thought that's why, doing this was so important. But I love that when I went to Yvette, she's so easygoing. Like I said, she's so easygoing. She's always trying to, what's the next thing she's doing for her community. So this is absolutely free, guys. All you need to
And she
do.
told Brenda, I have exactly 32 minutes, so yeah.
I know, I was like, come on, I get to give them my lunch break. I got meetings. Like after this, I gotta run out of
30
meeting.
minutes.
And we get it done.
So
So
that's fantastic. She's squeezing us in.
it is 20 minutes, guys, where we both come out, and I'm just picking Yvette's brain, and we're putting everything out there. We leave about the last 10 minutes just for questions.
Yeah.
So if anybody has questions, and what I love the most is hold this thought, it is free.
Yeah.
Like
You're
what
getting my
attorney
time for
does
free.
that? What attorney is going to say, come on in, let me help you out? Now, if you guys are on our live, then like I said, hey, that is definitely the time for you to ask those questions. And you know what? Go to the Women's Unlimited business page or Facebook page. Definitely tune in every Wednesday from what time to what time, Yvette?
1 to 1:30. Because she always gets it wrong. She was smart this time and said, what time do we do it? 1 o'clock, guys. It's at 1 o'clock.
And then real quick for our viewers and those who are tuning in afterwards, we talked about a lot of different things. Afterwards, this video will be out on our Life Stuff Co. YouTube channel.
Right.
The Life Stuff
And we're going
Show.
Instagram live
Life
already.
Stuff Co. is the show and the magazines, and so on the Life Stuff Co. YouTube channel, there's going to be Life Stuff Show channel, so it'll be out there, but we'll have all the links, we'll have the show broken down to all the different topics, so you can just click on it and listen to what it was that we talked about.
Yeah.
All of our links. So real quick before we have to wrap up, so Yvette, how do our listeners and our viewers find you anywhere out in?
So there's a lot of different
Mhm.
ways to
Internet world.
find me. My website is probably one of the easiest, so it's YvetteSalinasLaw.com. And so let me spell that out for y'all because Yvette can be spelled different ways. So it's YVETTE Salinas SALINAS law.com.
Okay.
And then you can also find my business page on Facebook. So it's Facebook.com/law office of Yvette M as in Michael Salinas. And then you can also email me. Again, that one's also going to be easy. It's YvetteSalinasLaw@gmail.com. And then you can also call my office. And that's 210-415-4917.
Also, guys, you can find her. She is also an admin, guys, at Women Unlimited. So you definitely, want to check it out, especially, like I said, this is a new show, Business 101, but we already have, what did you say, 4 or 5?
We have 4 episodes already.
And tomorrow makes 5.
Yeah, tomorrow makes
So
5.
this is great information. Like I said, especially at this time. time. If you guys have never thought about, doing any of what we just talked about, think about it now. Definitely think about it. Call her office at the very least. Call her office. Just give her a call. Talk to her.
Yeah, like I said, I offer free consultations on Tuesdays and Thursdays. A lot of attorneys don't do that anymore, so take advantage of it. I designate those specific days to do free consults.
And real quick, can I talk about the magazine?
Yeah, let's do
I know
that.
Sandra's coming in maybe to talk about it. Okay, so we just launched GenX Magazine. I know we're GenX.
Exciting!
We're the GenX station. So the GenX Magazine and the GenX station aren't exactly.
But I want to
same
yell.
thing.
I'm sorry. Woo! I'm just so excited about this.
Well, it's not the radio show's magazine. It's our magazine. We call it
Yeah.
GenX because of what it represents. And so Yvette has a column.
I actually have a column. They asked me to do it.
called
Okay, let me throw
Ask
something together real quick.
It says Ask Yvette. That's the name
I
of her column.
love it. I love
And
it. I love
So you talked about in that magazine. You talked about what were the topics? You
I talked about a lot of what we discussed today. So
need to know tips.
the need to know tips, and then all the different documents, why they're important, right? The 5 main ones that we discussed.
Right.
And then what exactly is probate? Because people don't even know what does probate mean. I get a lot of clients who come in, they're like, I called the bank and the bank says I need to go through probate. I don't know what that means.
What does that mean? Right.
Right.
The average person, I mean, if you're not having to deal with it, you don't know.
Right.
Not until you have to deal
And
with
it's
it.
not a common word, so it's not something that's just spoken out there. So
At first heard probate, I thought it had something to do with jail.
I'm on probation. Yeah, exactly.
And so she also is going to be a regular columnist. in our
Yeah,
upcoming
exciting.
San
I love
Antonio
that.
Lifestyle
Thank you
Show
so much.
magazine. And so
Yes.
my challenge is that do you do a new column for this one, or do we take the one from the GenX magazine and put it here? Because I really want all of your columns to be
I
in
think to
one
start, we probably
place.
transferred over so that we
Yeah, I
make
think
sure
so.
everybody
I
has
don't want people to think
that.
I'm being lazy, but I really wanted to. Oh, she just copied that out. No, I really want all of your columns to live in the life stuff
Right.
Magazine.
Well, and
So we'll
especially
probably do
that,
it
it's
different.
really, really important, especially
It's
at this time.
information, right.
Especially at this time.
So you get a month off from your writing.
Yay!
So we're just gonna use that column there. I said it. I made the decision. So we will have all of her columns in that magazine. Ask Yvette every month in
Yes.
there, or whenever we put the magazine out. Hopefully every month.
Yeah.
So where do they find the magazine, Linda?
Right now, go to Life Stuff Co. on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And then we have the magazine linked out there, the GenX Magazine. There's a link to it. It's an e-mag. Hopefully, probably next week, we'll have the magazine available for purchase.
Yay, that's exciting.
Yay! Super excited
So,
about
it's
that.
ready to go. We just got to get, a bank account, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Gotta get
Tell
that
our business. Tell our
That's-
business,
We gotta
Linda.
get that.
You know
done.
what?
We're so
Y'all,
busy
y'all
doing
believe
everything
in
else.
transparency.
No, I
That's
said, let's go get a
important.
bank account. Well, no, I'm doing this stuff with a vet. No, which, so now we need it. Okay, so we'll have that available for purchase online, and we're trying to make it affordably priced because we just want people to have access to that because it's good information. A lot of good information in the magazine. And we'll be telling you a little bit more about the magazine. We'll be telling about the different features in the GenX because it's going to be out there for about 4 to 6 months. And so there's good information in there, so we want to keep sharing that.
Yeah.
So you know what, guys? If you're looking for a vet, she's all over the place.
Yeah,
So
I always tell Brenda, like, you can send out smoke signals and
Yeah.
I'll probably find them.
She's in the magazine. She is a part of the Women Unlimited group. You can find her at YvetteSalinasLaw.com.
Yes.
Her phone number is 210-415-4917. So there's no excuse not to get a hold of Yvette if you're needing
Exactly.
any of her services.
Exactly.
Thank you so much,
No
Yvette,
problem.
for coming down. As always, you're a beautiful person. You have a big heart. Like you said, you help as many people as you can. There's a lot of elderly, especially at this time,
Yeah,
that are really worried right before surgery, giving you a call.
yeah.
I'm really
It's just
needing you right
important.
now.
It really
And
is
they're already
important.
stressed out about the surgery or
It-
the adoption
It
or
just
whatever it
puts
is
their
they're doing.
anxiety through the roof, and it's kind of one of those things like, let's just help calm that and
Right.
give you some peace of mind that your affairs are in order.
Well, you are an amazing, amazing attorney. We're super stoked to just, have you come in today and then just continue working
Yeah,
with you.
I'm happy to be here.
So we're connected at the hip. So sorry.
I know.
Linda's on one and I'm on the other side, so you can carry us. So we'll carry
Exactly,
you. Wait,
exactly.
we'll carry her. That's right. She's
Love
in the
it.
middle.
It's all good. That's right. It's all good. Okay, so real quick before we run out of time, we did start a little late, but we do want to end on time. So
Yeah.
what we have coming up in the Scooby world is April 2nd. I know we're still in March, but coming up, so you can mark your calendar, April 2nd. KLRN has invited us to their Kids Day in the Park. And that's April 2nd from 9 to 12. And they'll be celebrating the week of the young child. They'll have fun educational activities, games, and a visit from Curious George.
Oh my God. When Linda told me
Exciting.
about that, I was so excited. And I had to ask, are you sure? Is he going to be there? because I want to go.
So this past weekend, we were so busy. I mean, we were so slammed, giving away books and all this stuff. And finally, I said, Brenda, you gotta go over there and get your picture taken. With
I
Cat
was
in the
so
Hat.
pooped. I had been running all
Get
over the
there and
place.
get your picture taken. So I made her go over there.
But that was fun.
He or she couldn't make it to the Scooby van because it was too long of a walk, and they probably would have passed out. So we didn't get a
It
picture
was
of the
so
Cat in the
much
Hat. But
fun.
so we'll all at least get a picture with Curious George. So it's going to be free and open to the public. As far as where, well, I didn't capture that part, but I still got months. We'll have a Scooby van. I'm not going to make it up. I don't know where it is.
Somewhere, we'll figure it out.
We'll put it below, though. We'll put it under
Follow
comments.
ScoobyVanSA.org because I always put the events out there, and so you can kind of get the reminders of that. And then, real quick, before we thank our sponsors again, Brenda's going to do that. But I want to tell you about the next show. It's not next week. It's March 22nd. And our guest is Claudia Maceo, and she is the manager of the Twig Bookshop. And we're
Nice.
excited about that because they are celebrating their 50th anniversary.
That's
Oh my
exciting.
goodness. Can you imagine that?
Yes, and so also April is National Reading Month, National Reading Day. It's all about reading, so everybody gets all over the reading thing, which is great. And so they're going to have a month-long celebration at the Twig with all kinds of events coming
Oh
up.
my goodness.
So we're getting her on the show before April so she can tell us about those events that are coming up. And the Twig is
Oh my
also in the
goodness.
GenX Magazine, so you want to check that out. It's called Twig Talk. I love the name.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Oh
a
my
two-page
goodness.
spread making book recommendations, local authors, regional stuff, so it's a great recommendation. And so they will also be in the San Antonio Lifestyle Magazine as well, Twig Talk. So, you
Oh
don't
my
wanna miss that.
goodness. Well, that was a lot. Okay. So
It is a lot. We got a lot going on.
I was like, oh my goodness. So definitely, guys, if you're just joining us, if you're just coming in, you definitely want to go and catch the replay. You want to go press the rewind because we spoke about just so much today. Again, thank you so much to our very special guest here
You're
today,
welcome.
attorney at law, Yvette Salinas. And we're going to go ahead and we'll put it above and below all of her information, how to go ahead and get a hold of her. Everything that we talked about today, we will go ahead and get that information under comments. Now, we again just want to thank our sponsors, guys, here for Center of Advanced Wellness. Like Linda was saying, hey, we had a great time last year with all of our shows. We had fantastic guests that they went ahead and said, hey, we will sponsor your show again for 2022.
Yay.
Keep doing what you're doing. So, I talked to Linda about it, and after
Twist my arm. Okay.
yeah, after a 2-second talk, we were like signing the
Okay,
contract.
let's do
Do
it.
another year. We got a lot on our plate. So anyway, but yes,
So,
it's
yes.
well worth being here. Also,
Yes.
we have a new sponsor. Pogo Pass is still our sponsor. Brenda will tell you about that. But
That's right.
Kid Illustrated is now the sponsor of the Scooby Van. And
Who's Kid
Kid
Illustrated?
Illustrated? They're books illustrated by kids. And so the idea
I
there,
love that.
me
Yeah.
personally, as an advocate for children, community, and creativity, I created the books because being a creative person, people just want to squash that out of you. So Kid Illustrated
Yeah.
books as they sound. There's nothing on the cover. There's nothing inside. So the kid gets to illustrate the entire book.
That's
And they're these
awesome.
goofy poems, a lot of them based on reality, like Dog Do Dilemma. And I wrote them all. That's when the Scooby Van ran over the dog do. Anyway, but we do give kids a place in the book to write and illustrate their own story. And
I
in
love that.
is a letter to the parents teaching them how not to squash the creativity out of their kids. And so you can learn more about them at Kid Illustrated on all social media and kidillustrated.com. So
And we'll go
thank you
ahead and
It's
put that below for you guys.
donating. All the proceeds go to Scooby Van.
I love that. And we need help with Scooby Van, so
Yes.
definitely
Because
go.
the gas prices are going up. And the
God.
Scooby snack prices are going up
Yes.
too.
Oh my goodness, that's just like a whole nother topic for another day
Yeah.
on the gas, so we're not going to talk about it. But again, thank you so much to My Travel Vibes for our merch.
Yes.
Whatever it is that we need, we just go to him and he will get that to us all year long. And again, Pogo Pass, thank you so much, guys. This is one pass, one price, good for 1 year at $39.98. And what that is it's $1,000 worth of venues, again, for only $39.98. So thank you so much. They are donating some passes throughout the year so that when we go live, we're going to be giving some out. So
Yes,
thank
and
you
it's
so much.
One pass, one price, all year long, but it doesn't start until you actually use the pass.
That's right. Or if you guys want to get a gift certificate and give that out for a birthday or anniversary or Christmas,
The
you
gift
can also
certificate
do
lasts
that.
for a year.
That's
and
right.
then they have to activate it, and then it doesn't actually start until they go to the place. So it's a wonderful deal.
That's
You're gonna
right.
go to the Witty once, or you're gonna go to the zoo once, so you need to get a Pogo Pass.
That is right. All right, so thank you so much,
Wow, that went
Yvette.
fast.
It went
Our
so
hour,
fast. I was like, oh my gosh, where did the time go?
our hour has come and gone. Oh yeah, look at that. We have something like 2 minutes. Oh my goodness. But we're gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Anything we want to say, Linda?
Yes. So when you go check out YouTube on the videos, if you just go scroll, be patient with us, scroll down through the description. So every different thing we talked about, whether it was Pogo Pass or Center Advanced Wellness or whatever it was,
Uh-huh.
KLRN, if you just go down, there's time things on the, whatever they call those, the time
Okay.
stamps. So just go down there and click on, if we send you things, say, hey Twig, we talked about you, yay. Just go click on Twig, and then it'll show you where we talked about you.
Yay.
So we just make it easier for everybody who wants to watch
Yeah.
the video. But
So
don't
Yvette,
have
go
time.
look you up, girl. And
God.
take that.
And we
Look
also
at
have-
multiple.
We also have a new podcast channel, so we have so much going on we can't keep up.
Oh,
So we're
let's
on,
tell
where are we
them.
on? We're on Apple, we're on Anchor,
SoundCloud.
Spotify, or
Spotify.
SoundCloud. I think it's Spotify.
Spotify.
Anyway, so we do have a new podcast channel.
There's so much
the
going
audio
on.
version of this is be out there, so if you want some good humor to something
Good.
like
I love it.
stuff to learn while you're on the road or whatever.
Yeah.
So that'll
All
be
right.
out there as well.
Well, guys, thank you again so much for tuning in. Linda's gonna come up and she's gonna go ahead and turn
Stop
you guys
all of them.
off. Yvette, well, your last words, girl. What do you want to tell them? How do they get a hold of you?
Feel free to contact me. Easiest way is my website, YvetteSalinasLaw.com, or contact my office at 210-415-4917.
That's right. That's right. You know what? Just really quick, because I did talk to the lady. Come back in here really quick. I'm so sorry. I did talk to Monty Gonzalez, and I told her that we were going to give her a shout out
Oh,
Yeah.
because she is on the
Cover.
magazine.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Linda, can you go
It's
ahead and tell
sexy.
them about it?
She's
Tell
on the
us.
cover because she sells magazines.
Yes.
That's good enough,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Okay, so Marty is on the cover. Marty Gonzalez. She is the general manager of the station. Brenda's actually the station manager. She's the general manager, so she's the big boss of the
Yes.
station.
Big boss,
She
baby.
also is on the board of Center Advanced Wellness. She also is a part of Tabu, which is a singing group with her and
where's that?
Yadi is her cousin.
Yes, it's her cousin, yeah.
And
Yachty.
so they are,
They're a Latin women's
Yes.
group.
and so they are in the magazine. There's a 2-page spread about Tabu.
That's right.
Marty's the cover, and there is a big feature on the radio station. You'll see all the different shows that we have, and you'll hear about Marty. But real quick, so at Continental Clubs, Latinapalooza.
Latinapalooza, yeah.
I'm so glad you're saying all this. Go ahead, girl.
So Thursday, so mark your calendar if you're a Latinapalooza person. So this is going to be huge. Thursday, March 17th, Tabu is going to be on at 3 o'clock. There's going to be a bunch of
Woo,
different
yeah.
groups performing. So they're going to be on at 3, and the address is 1315 South Congress Avenue. That's Austin, and that's Continental Club's Latinapalooza, and the number is 512-441-24444. And again, we will have all that in the description and a link to the actual event if you want to learn more about that. So we're really excited about that. That's going to be awesome.
That's right.
And
So,
they're fabulous. If you haven't heard them saying, you need to check them out on Apple because they are fabulous.
so you definitely want to follow them, guys. And you know what? Linda was saying, she is on the cover of GenX, guys. We got together, and when we were interviewing her, and she was just very candid and very real about just her life, with having children, her singing career. She has multiple businesses. She really is, busy all day long.
Yeah.
And, we just
To get her
talked
to
to
hold
her.
still long enough.
Yeah, it's a really good article. Really good article.
And we just talked to her about, how you balance this? How do you do it all? I mean, us women, we're definitely out there. We're doing the best we can. We're living life. And sometimes we just get overwhelmed. So especially with her life, I mean, it's really, really interesting how, just how she does it. So it's a very interesting.
Very inspiring.
Yeah, very
And
inspiring.
she's also an admin on the Women Unlimited group too.
She
So she's
is.
putting tips out there and she's putting inspirational message out there. So you definitely want to follow along with that group.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys. Now it's the end of the show.
Now we take care of everything.
I was just like, oh my goodness, how did I forget that? Because this is huge news. So
Right.
thank you, Amadi. Congratulations to you for being on the cover. Congratulations to you
Thank
here,
you.
Yvette Salinas. You have a wonderful article.
Yes.
I know you guys can't wait to read it. So you guys are going to find this at the Life Stuff Co. Get to the Life Stuff Co. so that you guys can check out that magazine. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Linda, for being with us every
Bye.
Tuesday, girl.